Hello and welcome to this video. This is the beginning of Section 5, Leverage AWS Services for Logging and Monitoring, Part 2. In the Part 2 of this topic, we are going to cover 3 AWS managed services that you can take into use to help you with logging and monitoring. The first one is AWS Inspector, then AWS Guard Duty, and then AWS Trusted Advisor. So we will start with AWS Inspector and how can you take this into use for automated security assessments. So AWS Inspector is an automated security assessment service. So it enables you to improve the security and compliance of the applications that you have deployed in AWS. It automatically discovers vulnerabilities and deviations from best practices. So this sounds really good. So what actually do you get when you use this service? You start using AWS Inspector when you are creating a template. You will need to create an assessment template that are based on rules packages. And those rules will essentially tell Inspector what does it need to test your EC2 instances against. So what type of rules will it actually run? And types of assessments are network assessments to check for ports that are reachable from outside the VPC, host assessments to check for vulnerabilities in the software, host hardening benchmarks, or security best practices for the configurations that you are using. When you start running the AWS Inspector, it will generate this report and with all the findings that you need to take into consideration. So the report can be downloaded in either HTML or PDF format, and it will look like something like this. It can be very, very detailed, and the cool thing is that you can use this as part of your documentation, and you can see what are the things that you still need to improve in your application. Taking AWS Inspector into use is fairly simple. You start by installing an agent in your EC2 instances, and this agent is exclusive for the AWS Inspector. So it's not to be confused with the CloudWatch agent or any kind of other agent from AWS. This is just for this service. So you need to install this AWS Inspector agent in all the EC2 instances that you want to inspect. Then you create an assessment target, and you do this by using tags. So your EC2 resources are tagged, and you will specify which resources you want to inspect. Then you create an assessment template that will essentially say what are the rules packages that you want to use, what are the rules that you want to test your EC2 instances against. And then you execute an assessment run. So you start the assessment, and then after a couple of hours, you will review all the findings. This is a service that really takes a couple of hours to run, so you need to be patient, and by the end of it, you can review all the findings in either the AWS console, and you can also download that report as HTML or PDF format. So this is fairly simple to take into use, and I highly recommend you to check this out if you have a lot of EC2 instances.